This is your first crack.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Rundle Maulers, the back six of the Adelaide Crows. I'm in love with what they're doing behind the ball. It's you know, we say they're no name, but I think we're all getting a handle now on what they've got, and it's quite special behind the ball. It's team first at all times. It's minimum fuss. It's honest. It's tough, and it's the best back six in the competition by a long way. By a long way. They work for each other so well. They're the number one team at intercepting the ball, 71 a week. And these guys, in terms of intercepts, you can see they're Keane and Worrell, numbers 1 and 2, in the competition throughout that period. And I don't think most people would recognise Keane as that player. But he's been so reliable, just old-fashioned, stand next to a man and cold beat them. And a lot of it is at ground level. And I'm just... When you're building a list, Joey, sometimes you need to be able to pinch a couple from other clubs or, you know, just left of centre, left field. You've got to find a left fielder. We know that he was on Collingwood's list for 4 years. He played 5 games in 4 years and then basically retired. He moved on from Collingwood. I know Collingwood wanted him back, and this is why. Yeah. Well, I mean, imagine him in the black and white stripes at the moment. He'd be first picked in their back line at the minute. And Worrell's just been a sensation. Picked 28 back in 2019. So to find these guys and to find a home for them and get them playing great football. I know we talk about their stars forward of the ball and what they can do, but when you can handpick a couple of players like this, and I know we're going to talk about Nazai later on, and you know, they've got these guys right. They've got the ability to attract Isaac Rankin, the ability to get Dawson from Sydney to the club. I'll tell you what, if they do get Nazai and they do win the flag this year, they'll knight their recruiting department and their talent acquisition department. They'll have the sword going on both shoulders because it's been unbelievable what they've built. That's how you build a premiership list, though. It's not you got to get your stars, but then you've also got to get these bargain picks or players from other clubs that maybe weren't as valued and turning them into really solid elite AFL players. And that's what the Adelaide Crows, it looks like, are building with this list. So they were able to cope with high volume the other night. I know it was a basic straight line entry because of the conditions.
71 inside 50s.
Yeah, you just don't see many teams being able to withstand that sort of onslaught. So I think we've just got to start to value these guys differently.
And the old adage, premiership, defence wins premiership, Kingy, then they are certainly well placed at the top of the ladder. It's a brilliant game, Joey, on Saturday night. As we said, that back line was under siege back there. What did you make of the match and the Crows in particular, some of their ball movement? Yeah, well, there is still a little chink in Adelaide's armour. For as much as they are doing right, this is one phase of the game that they need to sort out come September, because at the moment, they, in the last 4 weeks, are 18th in the competition and by a fair margin, moving the ball from their defensive 50 to inside 50. And it is something that all the premiers over the last 10 years have been really strong at. They've all been top 6. But Adelaide, at the moment, are not getting it done. In fact, it's not just at the moment. It's across the whole season. They are 17th in the competition at being able to transition the ball from defensive 50 to inside 50. It's probably why in this game they had 71 entries against them, because they couldn't get it down their end of the field. They kept coming back, and you've spoken a lot about Air Adelaide, Kingy, and their ability to contest mark in the middle of the ground. I wonder if they're a bit reliant on that. They almost need some contested marks to be able to transition the ball, because your vulnerabilities get exposed in September, and this is a vulnerability for the Adelaide. It would surprise people. Everyone just thinks Adelaide has this really good ball movement style of play, but they actually don't. It's an area that they need to fix up on. It was obvious in the first half of this game on the weekend, and just something to keep an eye on going into finals, because in the last 4 weeks they've had 158 opportunities, Kingy, to move the ball from D50 to inside 50. They've done it 17 times out of 158 opportunities. To give you some context, the Giants did it 14 times alone on the weekend against the Gold Coast Suns, so it is a concern. Who's the knock-on? Who's been turning it over? The
whole team. They're all of them. They actually are struggling to get the ball from one end of the field to the other. It would surprise people, but just keep an eye on it over the next couple of weeks. But against top 9 teams in the last 6 weeks, they're 4-0. They can defend really well. They are defending, like you just mentioned, the defence, and they have to defend really well. But I think that's where their eggs are in that basket. Maybe they don't have the most skillful back six. Maybe it is nuts and bolts. But they're able to stand up. And maybe they're causing some pressure on themselves. They're going to have to defend their backsides off, They are going to have to. And at home, I think they can do that. On the roads where you come under real challenge.
What we're going to see is the opposition go to school on that. They'll be aware of that. So you might see that frontal pressure trying to turn the ball over and the opposition getting some reward for it. What about